one of the reasons that I always say that style is not limited to what you wear is because it is a very personal issue, and your personhood is at the very core of who you are. Personal style is how you dress, it's how you walk, it's how you talk, it's how you carry yourself, it's how you sit, it's posture, it's eye contact, it's body language. It's all the verbal and non-verbal, it's the physical, tangible, and everything else inside and outside. You and I are one beautiful, physical, spiritual, creative, complex, amazing being. And so your personal style includes how you speak and how you treat others. And communication is at the very center, it's at the epicenter of your personal style. So recently, unfortunately, but life is life, we are dealing with a situation in one of our children's schools, and you don't know my kids, and you don't know where they go to school, and a lot of you don't even know where I live in the world. And we are dealing with and it's life. You know, one of my children is being pushed and verbally taunted and kind of kicked from behind and chased on the playground, you know, by someone, because she's a pretty easygoing kid. It's my daughter, and she's 8, and she's not an angel. She's not perfect. I'm not an idiot. I'm a mother. And I'm also not a mom who gets involved in anything unless I think that my involvement is required. Why? Because I think it's easy for parents to step in and fix things. I don't think that's good parenting. I think that as parents, we need to coach our kids to get up, dress up, rise up, stand up for themselves, stand up for the truth, speak up, dress up, lift up, and understand what leadership is. And especially if it's a boy, leadership includes not hurting a girl or any other kid actually, but most especially a girl. So we have had an unfortunate ongoing 3-month situation where we have been asking the school, and this is an amazing school by the way, to help us, and this is what's going on, and it's becoming a daily issue, and my girl's in tears, and she's feeling afraid and intimidated, and all we keep getting back is, that we have a process and we're going to apply it, and we were asked that you honor the process, and we're quite new there, and so here's what we're going to do. And so then there was a general chat, and then an individual chat, and then several individual chats with the child, and nothing changed. And then we were asked to put any incidents in writing and record them with the date and the detail, and which we've done. And we've been actually requesting a meeting with the parents, because if I were in that position, if it was my child hurting somebody else, I would want to know. I don't think it's fair for the other parents to be kept in the dark. I really don't. I think that it's just not right if it reaches a certain stage. This is about your personal style. This is about your personhood and your leadership and how you are coming across to those in your community. And I trust, and hopefully we all can say that we are people of integrity with good family values and standards, and that we contribute to our kids' positive, life-affirming, life-giving habits and behavior. But then life happens, and kids are kids. And by the way, we can also be grown-up kids sometimes and act like brats, and we all know that. We can be moody and full of shit and so on. So anyway, suffice it to say that I learned this through my husband, who is, like, as far as I'm concerned, the best negotiation coach in the world. He is negotiation coach to the likes of Adidas, Vodafone, Network Rail, Pfizer, Schlumberger. I mean, he's, and for the first time I saw him get a little bit upset and a little bit kind of, he's not that cool, level-headed one here, because unfortunately the parents of this little kid have responded very poorly and very aggressively and very angrily to a request that finally I forced the school. I said to them, this is not working and it's not happening, and I think that the parents need to be involved now, and we need a meeting because it's ongoing, and it's important that we get to the bottom of this, and it's important that my child feels safe and secure in her classroom and in her school. And she loves the school, by the way. She's so happy there. She's thriving there, except this one ongoing issue, and it's been 3 months. They get a request for a meeting, and the first thing that the father does is kind of accost me by myself. My husband's not around, right here, and it's quite aggressive, and I actually think, like, he looks like a nice guy. I mean, you know, we see them around. We live in the same, pretty much same neighborhood, and again, stick with me on this. It's about your personal style. What is your style? What does it say about you? So we know that the request went out for a meeting. I'm like, that's great. So we can just get together. And I sent the mom a message the day before and just said, hey, let's call her Jane. Like, Jane, please don't stress. We're just after a meeting to get with you guys. And so we can put the four of our heads together and make sure that both of our kids are happy. Nothing against your son, nothing against your family. We don't even know you guys well, but the sooner we can get together, the better. And thanks so much. And da-da-da-da. So many positive messages. I mean, I have been accommodating and patient, way beyond the norm. And what do we get back the next morning? See them at the school and say, morning, hi guys. Ignore us, walk straight past us. I'm like, are we not greeting now? No, we're not. Okay. And then it just went downhill from there. Oh my gosh. And then the father just, I mean, my husband wouldn't have, because he's got more self-control than that, but he wanted to throw a punch because, the father kind of very physically confronted me the day before. I'm like, I think we should just handle this in the meeting. And then the wife is, oh Lord have mercy, is has a lot of, I think she could be a really good actor, let's just say that, like zero to hero drama like that. And why are you making stuff up? Oh my God. I'm like, okay, can we just calm down? Can we just be the parents of the two kids who need our help? That's it. Let me be very clear with what I'm saying here. And you know what? They probably are very good people. I don't know. I wouldn't know. We don't spend time with them. We don't know them. But now what we do know of them, we're like, oh Lord, can we please just get it over and done with? And can we just not ever, if we have to ever see them again, or if we do, could it just be courteous? Hopefully they will greet us, and they didn't. Again, we saw them this afternoon. Nothing, completely to be expected. But the level of response was shocking. And so it tells me about their personal style. It tells me a lot about their son as well. And it explains a lot. And we're still going to have a meeting, and we don't look forward to it, but it is necessary, and I will do what I need to do to protect and support my child. Here's the bottom line. How you communicate and how you respond to situations and how you handle challenges and how you decide to communicate with people who you might think are on the other side, like if you behave like a victim, which they have, and they're like, we're the victim, oh my gosh, you're making this up. I'm like, yes, I don't have a life and I'm making all this up, and all the emails that I've written and I've been asked to document everything, that's because I have nothing else better to do with my life. Come on already. How you choose to respond to things says so much about you. Says so much about your character and your integrity. Says so much about your value systems. And this man was very, very, very focused on, I hope you're not talking to anyone. I hope you're not, because it's my reputation and we are a family. What did you say exactly? We are very well respected in the community and we are a family of values. I'm like, that's great. What I wanted to say to him was, how you're responding to this is not lining up with your reputation that you think that you have. Because he was very intimidating toward me. He was very aggressive with me, which is why my husband came barreling down the highway, down the pathway, and said, what's the problem here? Just back up. And my husband very, very seldom loses his cool. And this guy got in my face, and so he got in his face. And it was very uncomfortable and very unfortunate, but it's based on how they responded. And of course, then my husband responded. And you know what? I kind of felt protected. I kind of felt really loved. And I really appreciated that. Is it ideal on the grounds of the school? No, it's not. All the kids were in the classes and parents were leaving and maybe 2 or 3 people saw us. And then the principal came down. It's like, hey guys, do we need to, can I help in any way? And we weren't standing there screaming and shouting, but there was obviously a very intense conversation going on. But all of that to say is you can wear what you like. You can have a ripped 6-pack abs. You can be from whoever. You can have as much money in the bank as you freaking like. But that doesn't buy you class. It doesn't buy you style. It doesn't buy you character or integrity. And it doesn't say anything about you except perhaps, maybe, you're the bully in this situation and no wonder the kid is behaving this way. Makes us think what's going on at home. None of that was at the center of our minds until what happened this morning. I am shocked, and it's diabolical to me what happened. It's absolutely shocking. And so here we go, of course. We have to see them every day. I'm the one that drops off. I'm the one that's going to be there. And my amazing husband said, you know what? You want it? I will drop Paige off. I will pick her up. I'm like, you're awesome. I appreciate that. And we have someone pick her up in the afternoon because I work in the afternoons. I work as in my coaching calls are mostly in the afternoons. And I'm like, no, this is our school and I will not be intimidated. I will not be moved. And we don't do this high level drama. No, what we do here is like, here's a situation. And if I got this message, I would say, oh my gosh, guys, I'm really concerned. If it was my child hurting verbally or physically somebody else, my first response would be, when can we get together? I want to gather as much information as I can. How long has it been going on? What is the process here? What's the protocol? I wouldn't get angry with the parents of the other kid, which is what they did. So I'm like holding myself back, saying actually very politely what I really want to say about these two people, which I find sickening and despicable. But I'm using this to remind you, whatever happens to you in life does not dictate and determine or it does not demand an angry or unnecessary or negative or intimidating or aggressive response. What happens to you might not be right, but how you respond to what happens to you, my coach taught me 10 years ago, is everything. What I had no opinion about these people before, now I have a very, very, very firm opinion about them. And I will go out of my way to keep my child from them. Because now I believe I have all the evidence that I need to see why what's going on is going on. It's unacceptable. So what I'm saying to you is, do not let any harsh challenges or trials that come your way make you go like, you make it, because the mom was saying, you're making me upset, you make me, and I said to her about 3 times, I'm like, let's call her Jane. No, Jane, no one's making you do anything. You choose how you behave. You choose how you respond. No, you're making me. It's like, look, there's just, I just eventually was like, sorry. And I spoke to the husband because I can't deal with that. Everyone's getting a lot of testosterone going on around here. Don't make that mistake. It was such a good example to me this morning of, did I get heated and upset? Yes. Because of I was spoken to, I'm like, excuse me, can back up right now. No, you were aggressive. And I'm not going to tolerate that. We're actually dealing with the issue of your son being aggressive with my child. So let's not escalate it to an adult level here. I think let's calm down. It took about 45 minutes of a conversation for that to happen, maybe 35 minutes. I'm like, we can't change the past. Can we agree on how we're going to go forward together? Can we agree to be civil? I'm not speaking to anybody else about this, because he was like, who are you talking to? Who telling him our reputation? I'm like, don't worry about your reputation. What we need to be concerned about is our kids here. The 2 kids who are involved, they're like 8 and 9 years old. So that's the only issue. Now we must have an agenda. There's only one agenda here, and that's to resolve the problem that the kids are having. Because if one child feels like she's being pushed around and bullied by another, then it's their problem, which becomes our problem, and we help them to solve it. That's it. Do not let the severity or the unexpectedness of a trial that comes your way to make you use it as an excuse of, you made me do this, or you made me so angry. That's not style. That's not class. And that's why always, you know what, true character is revealed under pressure. My eyes were wide open today to this couple. And we never have connected with them and become friends. Like we have other amazing friends there. It's an awesome school. Wherever you go, there you are. And wherever you go, you're going to have the good, the bad, and the ugly. And maybe people don't find us interesting. And maybe we don't find someone else. And not everyone has to be bosom buddies. But what it does mean is when it comes to our children, you want to talk about real personal style. How do you handle things that come your way with regards to your children? Are you overly kind of like freaking, do you do that? Like just happened this morning? Or you're like, hang on a second. Are you leading by example and showing, like, I want my son to understand that this is how we handle things? Because not one time in the whole altercation, which was very unfortunate, not one time did the father or the mother say, hey, is Paige okay? Like, what is Paige worried? What's going on? Because this is the issue. We have a little girl who's 8 years old who's crying and doesn't want to go to school because this one boy is doing stuff every single day that makes her fearful and makes her feel intimidated. And she, by the way, she's a precious pearl of a girl, but by the way, she's very strong. Nothing wrong with her level of assertiveness. She paraglides and she zip lines and she horse rides and she does all kinds of amazing, brave, courageous things. So I'm going to end it there. I'm just going to leave that with you. What is coming your way that is something that you consider a real challenge, a real trial, and how are you handling it? Because a woman of true style is not going to lose her shit and just go, oh my God, okay, because that is just 7th grade leadership. What she is going to do is calm down and slow down and say, I need to gather more information. In other words, I'm going to ask some questions. When can we get together? The mother said to me, we will not be meeting with you. It's not necessary. And I said to her, let's call her again, Jane, I don't think that's wise. The very thing we need to do is communicate and make sure that all sides are heard and that all information is gathered so we can make some decisions and a plan of action and move forward. How can you avoid something like this? Well, it's not necessary enough. We don't want to talk to you. I'm like, okay. So if you think it's just going to disappear, it's not. And it's been 3 months and I've had enough of what my child is going through. She's in my arms and her father's arms every second night crying because of this kid. So for sure, it's not going to go away. In fact, you've got my full attention right now. So let's be smart, let's be wise, and let's handle it and let's have a meeting. And apparently it's happening in 2 weeks' time. We'll see. I'm not going to let this one go. Your personal style is how you handle things. Your personal style is not limited to what you wear. It's what comes out your mouth. It's how you carry yourself. It's what you say when those people are not around. And it's whether or not you're not going to... So they're so scared of us. This is another thing I just realized as I said it. So they're so scared of us talking about it and say, I hope you're not talking to anybody because I'll be very upset. The father said, I'll be very upset if I know you're talking. I'm like, let's call him John. John, there's 2 families that know about this, you and us, and the principal, and the teachers, 2 teachers. So rest assured, your reputation is intact. And I wanted to say for now, but anyway, it's not intact after how they treated us this morning. And so it's shocking to me. Your personal style is your character under fire. That's actually true personal style. In fact, I'm going to write that down. True personal style is your character under fire. Because anybody can do or say or wear anything and look and feel good. But it starts here. Are you trustworthy? Are you respectable? Are you a man who is going to be respectable and gentle around women and children? Or is this father, like I saw this morning, all the evidence I need to see why this boy is actually doing what he's doing? I got all the evidence that I need. Don't be that woman. Don't be that woman who, so I was talking about reputation. They're so worried about us talking about this to somebody else in the school. Well, guess what that tells me? They're obviously gossipers. I have no doubt that half the school knows their version of what's happening. Don't talk to me. Like, all he was worried about was who you told. Like, our reputation. It's my name. It's my, like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm here for our children, and I don't believe your boys being malicious. I just want us to gather information and sort it out. Yeah, but who have you told? I'm like, so what that tells me is they're gossipers and talkers and backchatters. Backchatters are people who chat behind your back. So that's okay. I don't care what people think of me. I truly don't. I'm very confident and secure in who I am and the character that I have. And so is my husband. So I'm going to sign off there. This is a good 20-minute reminder. Don't catch yourself out responding in a way that is in contradiction to the fact that you are a woman of substance, a woman of style, and a woman of strength. The trials are going to come your way anyway. The challenges are there every day. Excuse me. How you respond, how you treat people, how you speak to people is very much a part of your personal style. And use that, by the way, to observe how others treat others and go, are those people you want in your life or not?